Well, this morning we're going to be heading up towards Rainbow Bay. I've got to do a drone shoot for some people who have some land, that kind of thing. I've got another one to do tomorrow. And my apologies for no video yesterday, but it's just been really kind of crazy with everything. It was rainy, not much to do. Lots of bits and pieces that we're working on here, so it just wasn't the day. Just filled up, well, not filled up, pretty close to filled up. Gas is like, I know you're gonna think this one's funny, but gas is way down. It's like $4.64 a gallon right now. So I think that's, and it's supposed to drop again. I think that's one of the lower prices that I can remember in all the years. I don't remember it going much lower than this, do you?
No.
No, really. When I was up early, it was relatively calm, and in between the cock-a-doodle-doos, which were many, I could hear the water on this side. It was
Really?
like, okay, it'll be a little rough on the Atlantic. Of course, the clouds have just come in. Well, I got the footage I needed, and I don't know what the owners are going to do or not do, or sell or build or whatever. Oh, waves are building good. Yeah. So what do we get? You're gonna get an onion at Big Rock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll get some toilet paper too since we're there.
Oh. I thought we just got toilet paper.
We got 1 1/4.
Oh. Huh. We'll have to start rationing sheets.
I know, you didn't use very much while I was gone.
I know. I think you use a lot more than I do.
I think girls do.
That's true, right. Wait, what are you looking for?
Nothing.
You're just looking? Just to see? Giant cans of corn?
Ooh.
Or yams?
Yams.
Ooh, cut spring beans with sea salt.
How much?
Rice. Rice is cheap. Relatively cheap. Must have been where that accident was.
Yeah.
It wasn't on that corner, because I haven't seen it. I've been looking for, some place, but I haven't seen anything. So we're sitting here and discussing coffee and all that kind of stuff and how we're going to do it. And part of the discussion is retail and wholesale. And the wholesale, when you wholesale anything, of course, you make a lot less per whatever item or pound or whatever you're selling than when you sell it full retail. I mean, I think everybody knows that. But what the wholesale thing with coffee, because coffee is such a big commodity that, I don't want to get into a situation with people who don't have the same thinking and thoughts and values and principles that, Sid and I have about things, how we treat people, what our expectations are and that kind of stuff. And so my concern with having gone the wholesale route for coffee is that somebody, and I'm sure this would happen, will start saying, oh, well, I can get from AB company wholesale coffee for 5 cents a pound, 10 cents a pound cheaper than you. Do you want to get into that? And, I don't want to get into that. No, because I know how that route's going to go. This month it would be, oh, it's 10 cents a pound cheaper, and then, oh, they're going to come back, oh, well, that was good, but, we got a guy he'll go 15 cents a pound lower than that. And I don't want to get into that. I really don't. because we're not going to be, as far as I know, a giant, humongous company. What we're going to try to do is some good things with the company that we have. Try to make some good coffee. But, you know, like I've said before, almost anybody probably with enough desire and skill and that kind of thing could make coffee. It's not, you know, it's not rocket science. You're not making a nuclear bomb. It's coffee. So you learn how to roast it and everything else. So what's going to differentiate us from somebody else? And that's got to be the things that you know, Sid and I stand for, what we stand behind, what we're going to do, what our values are on, you know, various topics and everything else. And those are the people that I would rather, you know, like you own a coffee shop, say in Burlington or Boston or wherever it happens to be, and your values and my values or our values align together. Those are the kind of people that I'd rather do business with. I don't really, you know, the money thing, sure, everybody needs money, but I don't feel like at this point in my life I want to go mentally insane over 5 cents, 10 cents, that kind of an issue. No, I'd rather have a good working relationship with people who have the same thinking, the same principles, so that you're developing that type of a rapport with those people, and they are more than happy to work with you. It's more people to people than product to product, if that makes sense. Because when you're only dealing on the product level, you've just got, you know, it's an item, it's a commodity, it's a thing. But if you're aligned with whoever the person is that you're working with, they're selling coffee and their principles are the same, they're doing something that's giving back to their community, they're helping employees better themselves or whatever it happens to be, then you'll work together. And if you say, you went to these people and said, look, you know, coffee went up 2 cents a pound on that, they'll be like, hey, that's great. And on the same side of the picture, you can say, hey, look, I got a really good deal on this one. I can give you a 5 cent break. And they're also the kind of, you know, when you start getting into those pricing not gouging, but what would be the word? Yeah, like a price war type thing. That tends to start building a bunch of resentment because you are resentful that these people are taking your price and trying to cut down what you're trying to do because you need X amount of money, every business does, to stay operational and do the things that you want to do. When that gets cut, eventually that creates a tension, and then there's too much of that tension, you're just going to say, oh, the hell with this. I'm not doing this anymore. So that's why the wholesale thing, I'm willing to do it, but I want to do it on a person-to-person, not a coffee-to-coffee, not a so-and-so is going to sell me Colombian coffee for this price, and your Colombian coffee is this price. No, I don't want to deal with that. It's got to be a person-to-person relationship, and the coffee is almost secondary. Does that make sense?
Just me.
Okay. So that's, you know, the basics of where we're trying to head with this, is that to be responsible. And again, I don't know if we're going to actually have, you know, I'm still learning a lot. And one of those things with organic and fair trade, shade grown, is all kinds of categories. And, you know, you watch some of these things on fair trade coffee. And yeah, it sounds wonderful in theory. But how much, and then you watch another one, and it's like, yeah, this isn't, they're not really getting all that much by the time the amount trickles down. And then you'll see something on organic coffees. Yeah, the organic coffees, those are great, but I think it has to be a certain one. You know, I think, you know, the idea is to provide a good coffee that people are going to enjoy. That's the ultimate goal. The second is to make sure that you can get it on a regular basis, get it hopefully on a, you know, maybe on a direct trade. So that way you're getting it someday. It won't be right off because you're not going to have those connections. At some point in the future, be able to buy from X farmer in X country and actually pay him a little bit more so he can do a better job at his farm, and you'll get that better product. But now, just because it's classified, I don't know. Remember, the key is to make a good cup of coffee for somebody to enjoy. And I'm not 100% sure on all these labels and everything else if they're not, to a degree or another. Like one of the things is organic. Organic coffee. From what I hear, there's a lot of bad tasting organic coffee. Well, would you want to buy a bad tasting organic coffee just because it's organic?
No.
I don't think so. You know, would you want to buy, oh, look, this coffee's fair trade, shade grown, organic certified, and you know, put your lips up to it and go, oh, yeah, what the hell is this? So that's part of it. You know, there's a lot of different aspects of this that have to be thought out. And it's going to be a learning curve. I know that. Sid knows that. Hopefully everybody else knows that. And we'll all learn it together. We're going to head out to French Leaf Beach and go for a beach walk. Sid check the tides, and it's supposed to be low tide. Weather's good, so that's next on the afternoon agenda.